About 50,000 years ago, people from Asia sailed on small rafts from island to island. Advances in sailing technologies from 15th century onwards enabled the European explorer make longer voyages into the regions with extreme weather and climatic conditions. Then came the steamships and the mechanized ships, and all of a sudden the ocean seems a little bit crowded. Though the Spanish and Portuguese ruled the sea in 14th and 15th century, the 16th century saw the rise of the British Navy, and they ruled the sea for almost 300 years. And with the British came a lot of rules and regulation about sailing, and a barrage of nautical lingo which we still use today. Today we'll visit the maritime glossary and try to find out the origins of these nautical terminologies. I'll start with the most commonly used term. Do you know why we use port and starboard to define the two sides of a vessel? Mariners use these terms port and starboard instead of left and right to avoid confusion. When on board a vessel and looking at the bow, the left side is known as the port side and the right side is known as the starboard side. In the early days of boating, before ships had the rudder on the center line of the vessel, people used to have a steering oar to change the direction of the boat. Most of the sailors were right-handed, so the steering oar were placed on the right-hand side of the stern of the vessel so that they could steer the vessel to a direction they want to go. Sailors began calling the right side of the vessel as the steering side, which soon became the starboard. It's a combination of two Old English words. Stéor means steering and board means side of the vessel. So over time, Steorbord became starboard. As the size of the boat grew, so did the steering oar, making it very difficult to tie that boat on that side, as it would damage the steering oar. So the sailor started to tie up the vessel on the opposite side of the oar. This side became known as Lawboard or the loading side. This is from the Middle English lead board, and the word lead is related to the modern load. I think the word leaden also comes from this Old English laid, but I could be wrong. Anyway, the larboard and starboard sounded very similar. So in 1844, the British Navy ordered that instead of larboard, port word is to be used. The US Navy followed suit in 1846, but the whalers still continued to use the word Lawboard well into the 1850s. In chapter 12 of Life on the Mississippi, Mark Twain writes that the larboard was used to define the left side of the vessel, and that vessel was steamship Mississippi. Over time, larboard was replaced completely with port. After all, this is the side that faced the port, and all the goods were ported by the porters. Fascinating history, isn't it? Let me know if you like this short story or not. If you really like this short story, then maybe I will see you in the next video with more amazing facts. Till then, stay safe.